Oh, too bad, Ronaldo.
Yeah, right.
Michael Leaves, Randy Scott back here with you on SportsCenter. It is Football Saturday, getting you set for all these big noon kickoffs.
I'm realizing now my side of the desk far messier than yours. I'm scrambling. It's that kind of Saturday in college football. You know what? Beware the letdown game in East Lansing all week. Let's take you there. It's Michigan State. They're hearing about how they're one of the top 5 teams in the country, how they and Ohio State could be in the college football playoff. I'll tell you what, Connor Cook is playing like a playoff caliber quarterback coming off that huge win over Oregon a week ago. So now you have to get yourself back up one more time for Air Force at home. The weather has cleared. You can see it noon Eastern on ABC. Tom Luganville caught up with Spartans head coach Mark D'Antonio.
Coach, you come off an emotional win last week. You got a lot of experience on this football team. How's the week's preparation been when you got to face a team like Air Force and the Service Academy?
You know, very, very good. You know, when we have to change gears a little bit, you know, it creates a sense of urgency among our players. So I think our players understand what we have to get done today.
From a defensive perspective, obviously it's a short week, and Air Force throws a lot at you, not just the triple option game, but a sundry of looks. What's been the approach as far as getting your defense ready to play this week against this offense?
Well, you know, we've worked on this for quite a while. It's probably been a 6-month type of thing for us, so hopefully that pays dividends. We've worked on it in the spring and summer, because I don't think you can really get done in 3 days what you need to get done. But, you know, our emphasis will be to play hard, number one, get lined up. Got to get lined up and adjust to the various formations. Stay on your feet. We got to sub it out because they're a no-huddle team and everything. But and then we got to adjust the game speed because it's very difficult to simulate this full go.
All right, Coach. Good luck today.
All right, thanks. Go Green.
All right, in Columbia, Missouri, Maddie Mock and the 22nd ranked Tigers hosting UConn. First ever meeting between these two programs, and this is not good news for the Huskies because they've lost 14 of their last 15 road games against ranked opponents, and they're going to have their hands full today with that offense behind Maddie Mock. Olivia Harlan caught up with Mizzou head coach Gary Pinkel moments ago.
Thank you, guys. Coach, an unfortunate circumstance yesterday with 4 of your guys involved in a car accident. What's their status today?
Well, first of all, they're okay. That's the most important thing, and that's we're going to assess everybody, and we're going to see, you know, and make a decision, you know, in the next few hours. But they're all going to be okay, and you know, like a parent there, I shot up there. I got there late because they had already left to the hospital, but the 2 came back to our facility. But you know, you love those guys, and they're going to be okay.
Good to hear. And non-related injury news, Russell Hansbrough out today. How much then falls on the shoulders of your quarterback, Maddie Mock?
Well, I think it falls on Maddie a little bit. I think, but also I think, you know, Ish is going to do a good job. I think our running backs, you know, I think they got to rise to the occasion. I think also the guys around that position play a little bit better. Offensive line plays a little bit better. Maddie plays a little bit better. It'll help us.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Meanwhile, in College Station, number 17, Texas A&M, getting set for Nevada. That is Deshaun Hall, and he came into school at 6'6", 220. Better believe they have beefed him up since he arrived. He has to try to slow down that pistol attack from Nevada. Our own Laura Rutledge caught up with Aggies head coach Kevin Sumlin.
Thanks, Coach. We've seen you play Kyle Allen and Kyler Murray so far this season, but how will you manage quarterback playing time today?
Well, you know, Kyle has played very, very well. So has Kyler. And Kyle's a starter right now, and we'll see where it goes. But he's coming off of a really, really good effort last week. Kyler is getting better every week. So, you know, obviously we'd like to get all 3 quarterbacks in today if we can. But, you know, you can't assume anything. You know, Nevada's coming in here, going to play hard, and like to get some continuity with the ones. And so Kyle will start, and we'll see where it goes from there.
6:30 a.m. wake-up call for your team, 7:30 pregame meal. What do you have to watch out for with early kicks like this?
Well, first of all, you got to figure out what you're eating for breakfast. We usually eat spaghetti for pregame meal, but waffles, pancakes, those kind of things. And then, you know, just the early start. You know, you've seen a bunch of teams across the country in the last couple of weeks struggle in the early game. We want to see how we grow up today and handle different things, and 11 o'clock's fine for me.
Thanks, Coach. Enjoying some nice symphony music here.
Yeah, it's kind of like Disney World here right now.
Maryland's Randy Edsall going up against Willie Taggart and South Florida today. The Terps looking to bounce back from that ugly 48-27 loss to Bowling Green last week. And defense, that's a concern for Edsall's team right now, but he's also shuffled some of his offensive starters prior to this game. And Taggart's squad, 51 points first game, 34 in their second game. They can score it. Clayton Matvick spoke with the Maryland head coach a little bit earlier.
Coach, you made a change at quarterback. Caleb Rowe is your guy today. What do you need to see from him that you haven't seen from your quarterback the last 2 weeks?
Well, what we have to do is just make sure we take the throws that are there, get the ball down the field, and hit the guys that are open. And if we do that, we'll be fine. But we've got to be able to throw the ball in order to be successful offensively. We've got to be more than just a team that's running. We got to be able to stretch the field vertically, and we got to be able to make sure we take advantage of those opportunities that they present us.
You had trouble with the Bowling Green up-tempo offense last week. USF also goes up-tempo. What concerns you about the Bulls today?
Well, again, they run the ball extremely well, and then you got to make sure your eyes are where they're supposed to be so you don't get beat on the wheel routes that they throw at you. So, it just comes down to guys just executing, doing their job, and playing with great eye discipline.
Good luck today.
All right, thanks. Appreciate it.
Meanwhile, in Chapel Hill, down Carolina way, this is the game that follows us. Larry Fedora and his Tar Heels looking to get to 2-1 on the season. It's a 2-win mark that Illinois has already reached. The Illini, a bit of a surprise considering the last-second sort of coaching change they had to make. The Illini also playing some good defense. It's going to be a nice challenge for Marquise Williams, who threw 3 picks but got a win last week. Coach Fedora talked with our own Paul Carcaterra.
Coach, 99% of your offense returns from a year ago. It's week 3. What's next for this unit?
To take another step. I mean, we need to be maybe better than we've been in the last 2 games and just take another step, and that means we need to play a complete game.
Your defensive coordinator, Gene Chizik, told me yesterday, Wes Lunt, the Illinois quarterback, can slice and dice you. What's the focus defensively today?
Well, when they go in their 10 personnel, they're going to throw the ball over the place, and he can do it. He can really spin it. So we've got to get some pressure inside on him and make him move around in that pocket.
Thank you, Coach.
You bet. Thank you.
Well, a little bit earlier in the show, we showed you kind of a late arriving crowd in Chapel Hill. The fans are filling in, and this is a live look at what they're seeing. The band is out, the smoke is out, players running through it. Again, this game coming up in just seconds here on ESPN2.
It's a hype scene there in Chapel Hill. They really need to get a little more. They're still ringing a little bit from that loss to South Carolina.
Yeah, bragging rights for one school that calls it South Carolina and the other does the same. The honor belongs to South Carolina at this point. The game you're looking most forward to seeing today?
It's the big one. Ole Miss, Alabama. See if Ole Miss can go into Tuscaloosa and do something that rarely teams do.
All right, I want to see this next one. It's coming up on ESPN2. Beth Mowins, Anthony Becht on the call.
You're watching college football presented by 5-Hour Energy. This afternoon, the first of 5 games between the Big Ten and the ACC. It's Illinois and North Carolina on a hot and steamy afternoon here in Chapel Hill. Some things to watch for. Well, it's high noon for a couple of number 12 starting quarterbacks.
Yeah, Marquise Williams is a dual-threat quarterback that'll beat you with his arm and his legs. And Wes Lunt for Illinois, pure pocket passer, can carve up a defense if you give him a lot of space.
Lunt could have a huge day. Both these defenses were suspect. The big change, a new defensive coordinator for Carolina.
Last year, trying to get these guys in place was a problem. Gene Chizik completely scratched everything from last season and has gotten these players in the right place early in the season.
And how about a quiz for Cubitt today? Bill Cubitt, the interim head coach, just hired to replace the fired Tim Beckman at the end of August.
So one thing I can tell you is his players love him. He believes in them, and they believe in him. I think it's been a great transition late in the season.
They are 2-0, but a big step up in competition from what they saw through their first couple of games. It is expected to be a hot one today. Temperatures climbing up into the mid-80s. A bit of a reprieve right now with some cloud cover. And you're watching the ACC on ESPN. Fighting Illini at 2-0. The Tar Heels 1-1, still kicking themselves a little bit for the one they think got away. That opening loss to South Carolina when they had multiple chances to punch it in down in the red zone. Couldn't come up with it. And so now an opportunity for them against a Power 5 opponent to pick up a win and start getting some momentum. They'll have Delaware next week and then a huge contest in the ACC on the road at Georgia Tech. And the way their schedule sets up this year, 9 of their 12 games will be here in the state of North Carolina, an opportunity for the Heels. Beth Mowins, Anthony Becht, Paul Carcaterra with you today. And the Heels in their powder blue jerseys will boot it away. D'Angelo Bentley with the touchback, and Wes Lunt and company will have the first shot at it. Beth Mowins along with Anthony Beck, the 11-year NFL veteran. Anthony, we've got a couple of quality quarterbacks against two of the defenses that were the most porous in the country a year ago.
Well, you start with North Carolina. Williams is going to deceive you if you're a defender with your eyes. You got to watch that transition from tailback as he gives it to the running back and pulls it out and tries to beat you with his arm. Wes Lunt, on the other hand, when you watch him, pure pocket passer, make sure you follow his eyes and get in his zones so that he can be an inaccurate passer with blitzes up the middle.